We finished section 1, so let's move on to section 2. Hi everyone, Cristin here, and we finished section 1 of Falling for Autumn already. So I will say that section 1 was pretty easy. They were the bigger blocks, but there were only, 3 of them. Section 2 has quite a bit more to it. So let's go ahead and get started. So one other thing is we have those 3 blocks done, and we also have one of our piece star blocks that is for later done as well. And that was optional. You could choose to do that now, or you can choose to do it later. Either way works fine. So today we're going to start with, and just a warning, I am changing the direction of the blocks from what is in the book, but this one is the same. So autumn is my favorite color. That is our next block. It's on page 19 of our booklet, and it's a very simple one for the most part. There's just a few applique pieces. So if you've got your packets, grab your packet for today. The autumn is my favorite color. All right. Now this one is a big block as well, like those first 2 that we did. So I can see that I'm going to have to re-iron mine because I folded it to put it in my packet. So this is a big piece of fabric. So our main fabric, it is a cream, maybe white, but looks more cream to me, silky solid. All right, so no design to it. So this is one that I've mentioned before, that the backing, if you definitely want to put fusible backing, by the way, on the back of this very large piece of fabric. So the backing will look very similar to the front. So make sure when you put it down that you look at it and decide which is the front. And the easiest way I've found to tell is that you can see that there's weaving on the fusible backing. So you can see that. And the cream front, the front side is not really white. It's like a creamy white. So that should help you distinguish the front from the back as well. So on this one, our main fabric, our main background is 10.5 by 12.5. We will start with it at 10.5 by 12.5. And like I said, it's a cream fusible or cream silky solid, and make sure to put fusible backing on the back of this big fabric. I'm going to iron out my crease that I have down the center. All right, so 10.5 by 12.5 for our main fabric. And then we have 5 applique pieces. And I didn't already put them in order. I can do that real quick. It looks like it's orange, blue, green, pinkish rose, and then yellow is what it looks like. So let's go over these real quick. So these are all 2.5 by 2.5 and it's just an applique piece. I did choose to back mine with fusible stabilizer. That's totally up to you. I like to do it. It makes them easier to cut. That's one big thing, is you're not going to get all that fraying around the edges when you do your applique pieces. So that's my preference. Plus, of course, you're not going to get any puckering or anything if you're using fusible backing on the back. All right, so like I said, 2.5 by 2.5 for each of them. So the first one is an orange silky solid, and this is for fabric 2. It's for the letter C. All right, 2.5 by 2.5. And then the next one is the navy blue silky solid, and that one again, 2.5 by 2.5, and this is fabric 3. All right, and it's for the O, I should say that. So then for the L, this is the green silky solid, and this is fabric 4. It's the L, and again, 2.5 by 2.5. And then for the O again, this one is a rose colored silky solid. All right, and 2.5 by 2.5, and this is fabric 5. All right, and then fabric 6, because it's counting the main fabric as well, that's why. Fabric 6 is the golden silky solid, just a yellow gold silky solid. This is for letter R, and again, 2.5 by 2.5. Now, one thing I want to mention is some people were saying that they wish that there was an option to have it say color spelled with C-O-L-O-U-R for the European version, and they don't have that as an option. It's a good suggestion, but what you could do, especially if you're using Embrilliance Essentials, you could use a totally different applique embroidery font and spell out your own word. That actually would be super simple to do. So an option if you're one that prefers to have a U in that word color. All right, now One thing I also want to mention, so let's talk about our batting. So our batting is a big piece of batting. It is 9 by 11 for our batting. 9 by 11 for our batting. And we're going to quilt this with, this is a big one. So we're going to quilt this with Autumn 3. Oh, that'll be pretty. It's got pumpkins on it. Autumn 3 in an 8 by 10 horizontal design. All right. Autumn 3, 8 by 10 horizontal design. That's our quilting for today. So this design is such a large one that the one that I'm going to use is the 8 by 12 version, but there is a 5 by 7 version for those with a smaller hoop. If you don't have an 8 by 12 hoop, then even the design, not just the quilting, but even the design will not fit in your hoop. So you'll need to use the other one that is on the CD as well. It's a 5 by 7 so that you can break it up into a couple of hoopings. All right, and that is on the CD in a separate PDF file. Instructions for that. All right, and then for the quilting, so remember the quilting is 8 by 10, so that again is a large quilting design. So the I was just thinking the 8 by 12 autumn design, it is large. It's basically 7 by 8. So that actually would fit the design. 8 by 12 autumn is my favorite color. That design itself is 7 by 8 inches if this is correct. So that would fit in an 8 by 12 hoop. That 8 by 10 quilting would not fit because remember in that very first tutorial that I gave, I explained if you got an 8 by 12 hoop, you would have to take out steps 3 and 4, which is the part that makes it 8.5 by 10.5. All right, so if you did that, that's super simple. Take out steps 3 and 4 if you've got an 8 by 12 hoop. If you have a smaller hoop than that, then you will need to rehoop. And I already did the math on it for you. For those of you that are using a smaller hoop, if you're using a 5 by 7 hoop, you can do 4 hoopings to get the quilting, and it would be a 4 by 4 twice and a 4 by 6 twice. Very simple to do. In fact, I'll add a quick visual, like I wrote out a little diagram for me to visualize what to tell you. So I'll just take a picture of that and add that so that you can easily see 4 by 4, 4 by 4, 4 by 6, 4 by 6, and that will give you the quilting that you need. All right, so easy one today, very simple one. We're not going to make any changes to it unless you wanted to add that U in there, then you could do that, no problem whatsoever. That would be very easy to do. Trimming instructions will be very easy. This is going to be an easy day, so let's go ahead and get started. For anyone that may be new to the orange pop rollers, I'm just going to show quickly how I use them. I like to do the block upside down. I always do it right side down, which is different than most people, but it makes it so that you can very easily see the 1/4 inch seam allowance since we did the quilting in the hoop. So it makes it really easy to know exactly where to cut, and it works really well for me. So personal preference, I like to do the block up right side down. The other thing is using a rotating mat makes it super easy also. So I just start from in this groove here. I start with my blade down inside that groove, and then I kind of hold it down and I push the blade against that left wall of the pop roller, and then you rotate it, and then you do the same thing on the next part, right down into the groove, pushing against that orange pop roller on the side of the orange pop roller, and just keep doing this for each of the sides. All right, and like I said, you want to make sure to have it centered before you start so that you've got your 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. And in my opinion, it's super easy to do that when your block is right side down. So very simply, just like that, all the way done, and then you take it out and look at that. It's perfect. How easy is that? I love the orange pop rollers. I am a big fan. So that's how I use them and what works for me. And your finished block is all done and ready to be part of our section 2. And a couple things. So don't forget to subscribe. It will give it you, if you click the bell, it gives you a little notification when a new video is up. That is super helpful for you and helps me, because then I'm not getting messages saying when is this next one posted. And also, if you go ahead in our project, that's totally okay. Do you, that's fine. But if you post into the Cristin Creates group on Facebook, it creates questions, and people are asking, where's that video? I didn't see that one. And then I get messages, and it pulls me, anything like that pulls me away from staying on top of the quilt project, the group project. So if you aren't doing the group project and you're working at your own pace, go for it. But I'd prefer that you not post it in the group until we've posted the group part of it, just because it does create questions. If you want to field those questions, that would help, but most of them come to me anyway. So don't forget to subscribe. It helps the channel as well. I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know all of the analytics with YouTube. YouTube kind of makes me crazy. Every day I get copyright infringements that I have to take time to dispute those. So I haven't delved into all of the understanding of YouTube, but somehow it does help the channel if you subscribe, and it helps you so that you know when a new video is up. And to those that donated to help the channel out and supplies and all of that, and the video equipment and the video software and all of that, I just want to say thank you. I'm so appreciative. So many of you have donated and sent me little notes saying how much you appreciate the channel and the tutorials, and it makes me happy. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to put that out there. So how are you doing with your goal? I really want to hear about it. Katie Mayo added a dessert that she made, and she's on a really strict diet. She's doing really amazing. She stops eating. So I'm doing like the fasting, intermittent fasting, where I stop eating probably about 7 o'clock, but as late as 9 o'clock, depending on my schedule. But so I have probably 15 hours, 14, 15 hours, something like that I'm not eating. And it's easy to do. You're sleeping for most of that time anyway, so it works really well. She's doing 18 hours of intermittent fasting. She stops eating at 6 o'clock in the evening and then doesn't eat again until noon the next day. I'm pretty sure I'd be passing out, but that is an option. So it's something that just kind of jolts your body, right? And your metabolism is like, oh wait, what are we doing here? And so it gets your body to respond quickly. She's also she made a chocolate zucchini little, it looked like a cake thing, maybe a brownie type thing, I'm not sure, but she's so good. In my opinion, chocolate should not have zucchini in it. That's a hard no for me. So anyway, it's really cool to see that people are working so hard on their goals and how they're making it work for them. That is really good. I love that. I have not had any snacks. I haven't had, so it's been since like June 26th, I think, that I stopped all the things. I haven't had any junk food, any snacks. I'm eating super duper healthy. I'm trying to get to bed early. I'm doing that intermittent fasting and I'm adding more protein, working out really hard, doing all the things. And I'm actually today down 10.4 pounds. So I'm really happy with that, very happy with that. I did have one day that I had a caramel apple. That was on my birthday. But other than that, literally no snacks. Been super good about that. I'm kind of an all-in type of person, like all or nothing type of gal. So that works for me. And I'm really close to my goal. I'm very close to my goal. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I know it gets harder and harder as we get closer to our goal. So share what's working for you. We may want to try that, right? It definitely is helpful to hear, like if you found a snack that helps you to not want other snacks or something that's not too bad for you, whatever it is. I drink these protein shakes. I get them at Costco. I think they're called Premier Protein, and they work really well. They're easy for me. I drink that with my dinner. I drink one in the morning with my almonds. I have almonds for breakfast. So give me some specifics. What's working for you on your goal? I know not everyone is working on a weight goal. So whatever your goal is, share about it. I want to hear. And sorry, not an embroidered shirt today. I'm wearing this shirt that says, "But did you die?" So a friend of mine had a heart attack and he had one of these shirts. And of course I battled cancer. And so both of us got one of these shirts. And so no embroidered shirt today. Sorry.